أنا اسمي عهد التميمي من قرية النبي صالح. عمري 16 سنة. كلها يا دوب يعني بس شارع واحد. موضوعي المفضل في المدرسة الرياضة. مرح! لو ما كانش في احتلال كنت راح أكون لاعبة كرة قدم. طبعا كل المنطقة هاي في حواليها مستوطنات، وكل مكان بتلاقي مستوطنة أو معسكر أو إشي بخص الاحتلال. ولورا هون الحاجز مدخل القرية. أكثر من مرة ما قدرتش أروح على مدرستي لأنه الحاجز اتسكر. الفترة هاي صار الظلم على كل العالم، بس بدي أطلع على أمريكا عشان أوصل لكل العالم إحنا مش خايفين لا من ترامب ولا من غيره. كنت حابة أزور نيويورك، يعني هيك بشوف صور كتير وناس من نيويورك يعني بيعملوا لها إشي كبير. بدي أشوف هالإشي الكبير إنه أنا كبنت كنت أنزل ألعب بالشارع، كانوا الجيش يفوت على البلد ويصيروا يطخوا.
كل النساء الفلسطينيات عم نربي أولادنا إنه يكونوا قويين للمطالبة بحقهم والوقوف ضد هذا الاحتلال الموجود على أرضنا. كل أولاد النبي صالح وكل الأسر مرت بنفس الأسر اللي مرت في دار باسم، كلهم مروا باعتقالات زي ما اعتقلوا ابن محمد. فقلت لهم أنا بمسك الكاميرا. كانوا اللي تعلموا الإسعاف يعني
طلعنا مثلها بيوم واحد بجمعة واحدة، طلعنا 1000 وحدة بس في يوم واحد.
هم كانوا بدهمش يعني أصور لأنه هم بدهم يخفوا هاي الحقيقة.
On December 15, a video of Tamimi slapping an Israeli soldier outside of her home went viral. But what isn't seen on the video is that just moments before, Israeli forces shot her 15-year-old cousin Mohammed point blank in the face with a rubber bullet, causing severe internal bleeding. A few days later, Ahed was violently arrested in the middle of the night in a raid by dozens of soldiers. Ahed's 20-year-old cousin Noor, her aunt Manal, and Ahed's mother Nariman have since been arrested. Her mother Nariman has been charged with aggravated assault and incitement for uploading the video of her daughter on social media. And just days into 2018, the first Palestinian teen killed by Israeli forces in the West Bank was Ahed's other cousin, Ahed Tamimi. He was shot at close range by soldiers raiding their village. Ahed's arrest and imprisonment by the Israeli army has drawn ire from the international community and attention to the brutal military occupation, in particular its treatment of children, up to 700 of which are processed through Israeli military courts every year. While in the West Bank in late 2016, I visited the small village where the Tamimi family has lived for generations. Nabi Saleh is a small Palestinian village with under 200 residents. It is completely surrounded by occupation forces, from dangerous checkpoints to permanent bases. In their village, Israeli soldiers are always watching, if not physically present. It is also governed by Israeli military law, which pretty much means occupation soldiers have the right to enter any home, close any street, and arrest or shoot any person, practices they employ with extreme frequency. In addition to the military, their village is flanked by huge, constantly expanding Israeli settlements. Under constant attack, the village spent years holding non-violent marches every week, despite guaranteed violence from occupation soldiers. Ahed's father, Bassem, has been a principal organizer. American media constantly says that Palestinians should protest peacefully, which you've been doing for years. What has the response been from Israeli forces?
The Israeli reaction to Palestinian citizens is harsh because it does not want to see Palestinians present on Palestinian land. Therefore, it is the same reaction, whether Palestinians used armed resistance or nonviolent popular resistance. The propaganda broadcast by Israel is that we are pushing our children to participate in marches because we do not like them or fear for them. Children participate in the marches because they are part of Palestinian society and live the same adult suffering. They suffer from cutting off of water. The Palestinian child gets water only 12 hours a week, same as adults. They suffer from gas bombs that they inhale just like adults. They suffer from imprisonment of their mother and father and other beloved people. They suffer from the confiscation of their land completely, just like adults. The Palestinian child lives in the same suffering as Palestinian adults. Second, there is no safe place to keep our children in. We tried once to put our children in a house to prevent them from going out to the marches. So the army threw tear gas bombs inside the house, and we were forced to remove them to save their lives. The Israeli occupation invaded my house more than 150 times during the last 5 or 6 years. So there is fear inside my children from this occupier, who is present in their lives on a daily basis. They have psychological complications. The psychological impact can be even more damaging to them.
Many children don't worry about much. They spend their time playing with their friends, but your childhood has been littered with Israeli soldiers harassing, brutalizing your friends, your family, your village. Can you talk about what that's been like?
يعني أكيد الإشي بأثر سلبي علينا، بس إنه إحنا مجبورين إنه نتأقلم مع الوضع. إنه طبعاً مش راح نقدر نتعود، بس لازم نجبر حالنا إنه نتأقلم مع الوضع، لأنه اللي يعني أنا لو بديش يعني صح أنا بخافش إنه أموت وبخافش من الموت، بس أنا بخاف على أهلي إنه يموتوا، بخاف أخسر حدا من اللي بحبهم، يعني صحابي كل أهلي يعني بالبلاد هاي معرضين كلنا إنه نموت بأي لحظة. يمكن هسا أنا أشوف جندي جاي يقتلني.
What is your necklace? Where did you get these bullets from?
هدول الرصاصات اللي بنلاقيهم من بعد ما الجيش يطلع من البلد، بنلمهم وبنصنع بدل الموت حياة، بنعمل فيهم شكل حلو، بنعمل فيهم يعني إشي زي ما هم بيجوا بقتلونا فيهم، إحنا بنحولهم لإشي مفيد إلنا، إشي نتسلى فيه. هدول الرصاصات كانوا لخالي اللي استشهد، وابن خالي التاني أعطاني إياهم.
The Tamimi family has long been a target for their continued resistance and defiance in the face of sheer violence, torture, humiliation, and death. In addition to the recent murder of her cousin in the first week of 2018, when Ahed was only 11 years old, her cousin Rushdie Tamimi was killed by soldiers at a peaceful demonstration. Her mother was also seriously wounded by an Israeli bullet, and her father nearly died from being tortured. Today, Ahed is in jail awaiting trial. Israel has slapped her with 12 different charges, including assaulting a soldier. Some of the charges are for incidents years ago, including stone throwing, a crime for which Israel recently increased the maximum penalty for to a 20-year prison sentence.
قضية فلسطين ليش قضية إنسانية قبل ما تكون فلسطينية عربية، وبس تحرر فلسطين أنا لحالي بقدر أحقق كل شيء، مش بحاجة لحدا إنه يحقق شو بتمنى غير إنه فلسطين تتحرر.